So just a couple of interesting camera enhancements here. The first is, I'll bring actually the difference of the scripts in. The first is that in the Stroke Manager script, we're going to make a link to the main camera, and we're going to add a couple of little functions that sort of teleport the camera to particular locations that are often used. So one of those is right behind the striker's ball aiming towards the target. That's a very natural sort of view. And the other is looking down onto the ball, which is going to be used when the ball might be crossing a line or might have made the gate or might not have made the gate. So we've got this camera to strike as a target and look down. And the way that they will work is that there's these two buttons here on the video portal, and when we press them, so if I was to do this now with this line just sort of missing the hoop here, if I do that, you can see that it's gone, the camera's gone behind the ball and it's facing towards the target, and as I move the target, it's a very natural sort of view. Another view is to look straight down on the ball, and that's going to be useful if there's a line ball sort of decision to make. So the basic way in which those work are simply that the camera is being directed uh, first of all in this camera striker to target. We're actually moving the position of the camera to directly above the striker ball, so the X and the Z coordinates of the striker ball up with the camera about 0.5 high, and then we're rotating it so that we're looking at the target. And of course the way that we do that calculation of the angle is exactly the same way that we would calculate the angle when we're drawing the aim line. So that piece of code there is very similar to what we use when we're doing the aim lines. And then to look down, again, we're just going to the, we're taking the position of the camera at the moment. So the position of the camera is going to be what it is now in terms of X and Z, but we're going to make it a little bit higher so that we've got a little bit more field of view. And then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis, so we're going to point it straight down. We'll keep the y rotation the same, and that's all that happens. Everything else is as you would expect. The only other change I've made actually while we're at it is that the aim line in the 3D view was an image that was sort of rotated at 0 degrees, so it would often not quite show up if you're at a particular viewpoint. I've made it so that it's 90 degrees, and that also has the benefit that it appears as this wide sort of beam. So it's almost like the width of, you could almost make it the width of the ball actually, because then it would give you an idea of what the ball is going to clip. And that would be quite a useful little feature. So we could actually make that a little bit wider if we wanted to. All right, well that's that enhancement. And it brings up the idea of things crossing the line, things maybe going through the hoop or not, and that's what we'll be covering in the next video.